Hi there, and welcome to episode 1 of Startup Chuck, which is really all about idea creation in starting a company. So, if you want to start a company, there needs to be a market need, which means there needs to be some unmet need that people want to spend money on, right? So, that's the first thing. How do you determine a market need? It could be something that you need, for example, personally. So if we go back into my project archives here, then we can see one of the first company that I ever created, Uncle Charlie's shoe deodorizer balls. So I was a rock climber, and the climbing shoes I had didn't smell real great. So at the time, this was 2004. I was really trying to think about what can I do in order to, dry my shoes out. And powder is kind of stuck, and it was never really good. So started thinking about it and was like, okay, so there's nothing out there. Boom, right there, market need. I need something. The other people at the climbing gym need something. So that's kind of idea creation. If you don't have an idea, you can start asking people. You can find a demographic of people, and you can go and find a group that all have something in common. And then, so let's say it was golfers, right? You go to 50 golfers and you say, what do you wish you had that you don't have right now? Most of them would probably say, oh, I want to take one stroke off my game, right? But it could be something as simple as, oh, I wish I had a glove that didn't itch my pinky, right? And so you might get 50 different answers, but if you get maybe 10 of the same answers, then now you've got an idea that might be worth going to market for, right? So from there, you have a whole lot more steps. But since we're going to stick with the easiest way to make money on anything, you need to think about, okay, lemonade stand. What is the easiest way to make money? When you were a kid, it was a lemonade stand, right? It had very little overhead. You didn't get a business license. You went directly to the customer and sold it straight to their face. They gave you cash, and then basically your costs coming in were more than your costs going out. And on a basic level, if you want to earn money in business, just go do that. Start with the simplest possible way, ground roots to make money, and just sell something. Sell. And it doesn't have to be anything special. This was one of my best successes, mainly due to the fact that it cost almost nothing to make. I went straight into the shop and to the climbing shop and said, hey, I have these shoe deodorizers. This is a problem that people are having. Would you like to buy these? We negotiated a price. They negotiated how many they wanted. Let's say I think I gave them like the first batch was maybe 20. And then literally just super simple packaging, paper printed out, folded over, hand punched, staples. And then I think I had coffee beans and activated charcoal, which is like really, I think that's made from the husks of coconut that they, char up in muslin little balls that I had. And so I just made a little assembly line in my kitchen, which again, if you want to be profitable, I get with the small little thing, if you can make it in your kitchen, that's the way to do it. Yes. We'll talk more later on about scaling and, making things at factories and whatnot. But start small, start cheap. If you can do something in your kitchen, whether it's legal or not, it depends if it's food or whatever it is, that's the cheapest you're ever going to get, right? And then so, I took it to them. I gave them an invoice. They gave me a check. And within the second order, I had paid off all of the investment that I had in buying these bags in bulk, paper, ink. I had to buy a little heat sealer for this baggie, although actually didn't even need it probably. I probably could have got these little baggies that already came, pre-ziplocked. This is all like early Amazon also, so it's much easier to buy supplies nowadays than it used to be. And then again, you want to start small, right? You don't want to get in over your head and make 10,000 of these and then you're stuck with them when you can't sell all your inventory. You want to test your market early with a small amount of these or whatever you're making, and basically scale from there. Which again, we'll talk about scaling and all these things later on, but this is just an example of if you want to make money and you want to start learning immediately about business and seeing if you have what it takes to succeed, which really it's all about sales. If you can sell a product to somebody, it validates the market need, and then you can expand on that. If you can't sell any of these to a shop, right? If I couldn't sell any of these to a shop, if I couldn't sell those special, anti-itch pinky gloves to those 10 golfers, then it's not probably going to be a great product, right? It might be how expensive it took for me to make it isn't going to work for the customer, right? I think I settled on like $6 or something for these. And we'll get into how much something should cost, right? Rough ballpark, usually MSRP is 4x whatever your manufacturing cost is. But in general, if you can't get the customers that you asked and they said that they wanted that product, if you can't get them to buy it, if you can't get any of them to buy it, then either the pricing is wrong or there isn't actually a market demand. A lot of times people say they want something and in fact, in reality, they don't. But by testing that market need early with a simple product, one that doesn't take years of development, then you can get a much better idea of whether or not the product is good and it can scale. And we'll talk more another time about theoretical products, right? So something that could have a lot more financial investment in it in order to produce that item. But this is the first episode. We're talking about the simple possible way to make money on a product, literally from idea to being profitable within a couple of weeks. If you do that, really you're going to be successful in almost any product that you come up with as long as you do those basic steps.